What's good, everybody? It's the Royce Ghost 2010 version, and right now I have taken off the suspension pump that supplies the air to all four air struts on this car. Um, as you can see, it is a Rolls-Royce Waveco product from Germany. The pump actually still works. I tested the pump out by supplying some battery power to the actual pump here. I took two wires and hooked it up to my little battery and tapped it, and the pump came on. It works fine. So here, this is the pump. This is the contraption that actually houses the moisture from the air, and it takes that air and gets rid of. Sorry, it takes that moisture here and gets rid of that moisture in this apparatus over here in these tubes as well. So the pump works. That's not a problem. But what I noticed is that when I took it off, this thing is heavy. And this one is different. The BMW 750 or the 760 2010 air pump is not the same as this air pump system. As a matter of fact, the air pump that the BMW 760 uses is actually this one here. Now this is the BMW 760 Li pump, and it's a little different because the 760 Li pump only has pumps for the, I want to say it has air ride control for the back, left rear, and right rear. So this one is only supplying air. This one is only supplying air to two air struts, which means that the 760 Li 2010 doesn't have air ride in the front. It probably has some type of manual strut system that's going on. And also, this pump apparatus is actually smaller than the Rolls-Royce Ghost 2010 apparatus. If I put them side by side, and kind of twist them the right way, again, these two are totally different. But if I have it here, and obviously mine, the Rolls-Royce has vents or has hoses that allows the moisture from this apparatus to escape into these tubes that has to get connected back in the back of the Royce. But they are different. So, I do a lot of comparison with the Rolls-Royce Ghost 2010 and the BMW 760 Li 2010. And this is one of the differences. Again, this one has just two connectors for your air ride suspension, and the Rolls-Royce has actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One for the reserve tank, the rear front, the rear left, and then you got the other two in the two in the back, and then you have the pump that is supplied. This one here actually comes from the pump here and actually supplies air to the all the systems here. So that's the difference here. So what I noticed is that first off, this apparatus, this one is a little shorter. As you can see, I'm trying to get you guys, you can see the 760 apparatus contraption is shorter than the Rolls-Royce. It's longer. It's about 2 inches longer, maybe 3 inches longer, and the solenoid valve release is on the back wall here for the 760. But for the Rolls-Royce, the back wall does not have anything except a clip here. But the solenoid valve is actually on the side on this plate here. So what I'm going to do, and again, there's some other differences here. There's a hose that comes around and goes into this condenser here that draws the water out, where on the 760 there's no hose that goes into that little hole spot there. But again, on that one there is one. That's a difference. The power wire is still the same, so those are similar. There's again another sensor here, so that must be like a sensor here that tells if there's moisture in here and that's not working properly or whatever. The supply line for the 760 Li line goes into the back of the vent valve solenoid, where the supply line for the Rolls Royce goes into the front along with the other holes. So that's another difference. And the connectors are different too back here. Again, totally different. There's a hose here, which is probably going to be one of these here that's attached to the 760. But then they have this here, which is nothing. You have your connectors here, and the connectors appear to be the same. So they still do have the same little two-prong, connectors there. So that appears to be the same. Actually, that's nice round with a square here, nice round with a square there. So those two connectors are the same. So I technically probably could hook this up, but based on where my screws are here and here, those two would match. But the screws back here on this here and here would not match up. So again, that's that 2-inch difference of this one, the Rolls Royce, being a little bit longer than the one on the 760. So with that being said, I'm gonna send this one back because I had ordered this one to replace the whole thing, but it is totally different, and I know what I need now. Looking at this one and looking at mine, I know what I need. So I'm gonna put this back in the box. I'm sending that back to Amazon. I think it was $189. It also came with a new relay, but I don't think my relay is bad. So what I did notice is this, and here I'll say all that to say this right here. I was getting ready to take off this solenoid valve, block, and I noticed that my solenoid valve block has a split in it right here. That is a split. That should not be there. Which tells me, which is also in the same line of my left rear, which is in the same position, which is here, my rear left shock strut, air shock. My rear left air shock strut was low, was going down, and it never came back up. So at some point in time, my motor kept running and saying, hey, you know what, we're not supplying enough air to that side. It kind of senses that, and it shuts down the motor, and my system comes on in my car that says EDC is not working properly, to make sure that I don't burn out my motor trying to put air in a shock or in a system that is leaking. So again, you have the top is rear right, rear left, front left is on that side. Then we have the pump here at the bottom. We have the front left and the reservoir tank. And so this is what I need to replace. I'm actually trying to see if the BMW 760, the BMW 740M 2020 and 2019 model will work on this, only because it'll come in a lot sooner. It's $79. It'll come in on July the 2nd. Now the one for the Rolls Royce will come in on July the 9th. So I'm ordering both of them, and I'm gonna compare them to see if a 760 version would work on, a 740M, a M740 2020 solenoid valve would work on a Rolls Royce. I couldn't really see from the pictures online, but here's what the model numbers look like for this one, you guys. Sorry, that might be a bad picture. Something is always in the way. Okay, there we go. But couldn't really see online the back side of it, and it did not look too different. But my biggest concern was, does the one on the 760, does the one on the BMW have the same bracket mount as the one on the Rolls Royce? If it does, then I would definitely use it. If not, I gotta wait until the 9th. But that's my problem right there. My valve solenoid stop block is busted, and you can clearly see that. So love that. All right, you guys, once that come in, I'll show you the install. It was really easy to take it off, jack the car up, take both tires off, You don't have to take both tires off. A couple screws up under the Rolls Royce that will allow you to get to the pump system. A couple screws, take it down, unhook some brackets, and yeah, you're good to go.